It's April 1st, 2020, and I couldn't sleep at all last night. Today is April Fool's Day, and I kept seeing things on social media last night that April Fool's was canceled because of the virus. People need to get a grip. I don't know if that was a early April Fool's or what, but regardless, I felt very anxious last night and so did my wife, and we both tossed and turned throughout the night. In the middle of the night, I heard my daughter crying, and I went in her room. Her blankets were all pushed off and her pillow was on the floor, so I spread the blanket over her and put the pillow under her head, and she quickly fell back asleep. I had a long talk with my wife about her job, and we are torn. Part of me tells her to quit and that it's not worth it, that her hospital has prioritized profits over their employees and are refusing to provide them with the proper PPE. But then the other half understands why she stays. She has friends there, they're already short-staffed, and she's an honorable woman, which is why I married her. She has a sense of duty, which is awesome, but also scary. And it worries me that she has to go in there. Her dad told her the same thing last night on the phone. He mentioned she could just collect disability or something. I could hear him saying it from the other room, but she doesn't want that. I typically wouldn't want that either, but at this time, all bets are off. What would you say in my situation? And don't get up on a high horse either. All I'm thinking about is my wife and our unborn child. I've worked for plenty of companies and I've seen management styles, and her hospital is run poorly. They had the ability a while ago to implement proper procedures, and only after someone got sick did they say, hey, maybe we should wear masks. It's despicable. And I see now that the CDC is considering guidance to tell the Americans to wear masks in public. I mean, who was it that started saying that wearing a mask increases the risk of infection? If anyone knows, let me know. Because then the media began parroting it, and before you knew it, everyone on social media like a month ago was parroting that wearing a mask actually increases your risk of infection. There's not a single peer-reviewed article stating that a mask increases the risk of infection, yet there's hundreds that state wearing a mask decreases the risk of infection. Whoever in the government decided to come out and say that wearing a mask increases the risk of infection because they knew that the United States had a shortage of masks should be incarcerated. They need to be jailed. Because if they had just come out and said from the get-go, we are short on masks and we need people to work together to get masks to the hospital, people probably would have done that. But instead they said, you don't need a mask. The mask won't help you. And what happened? Everyone goes out and hoards masks because they know, wait, that doesn't make any sense. Masks do help. We learned this many times. We're supposed to wear a mask if we go to the doctor and we have flu symptoms, so why wouldn't we wear a mask now? Some BS. God. Whew, it makes me really mad. They need to be jailed. So today was really tough for me to focus on work. My dog, who's about 8 months old now, just wanders around whining and barking at anything outside and wants me to play, but I'm supposed to be working. And then my daughter is also wanting me to play, and I feel torn because I feel like I am neglecting them, and it's very difficult. On top of that, my daughter broke our computer today by hitting the screen. It's tough because I have to set her up doing something, and then I work, and then I constantly have to check on her, and then I have to get her on the next activity while I work. But I really enjoy it, and I have even more respect for my mom who homeschooled us while she was working from home. So I finished digging the rest of the tomato garden bed today, and I'll just wait a few more days and then turn it back over again. I basically increased the garden by about 25% by adding this section, so we should have more room for other plants, like a dedicated area for pumpkins. I've also been considering planting some potatoes. I've never planted potatoes, so it'll be a good learning experience. And I already set some aside that I washed off, and they've already started to sprout from the eyes. I put a nice piece of beef on the grill at around 4 p.m. It's 5 now, and it's been slowly smoking in there and should be done around 6 or so. It's smelling really good. I'm about to cut up potatoes, onion, and green pepper and wrap them in foil and put them on there with it. We actually used to make this foil dinner a lot with my parents when we went camping, and sometimes in the fireplace in my parents' basement before we moved to the country. We would do something called colonial days where we would cook on the fire in the basement and turn all the lights off and pretend we lived hundreds of years ago. That was when I was like, I don't know, 8. And me and my brother had so much fun with it. I had so many random good experiences that prepared me for so many things. I truly am pretty blessed. My daughter and I just sat on the rocking chair out back today for a little bit. I drank coffee, she ate goldfish. It was really nice and comfortable. The sun was out and it was warm, and we just rocked back and forth. And occasionally she would hand me a goldfish to eat. It was really cute. Moments like this, I hope to freeze in time in my mind forever and hold on forever. Not the bad stuff. Moments like that. It's what I want.